this story on Burn. But look at this, dude. This is from 2021, so we're a little late, but let's just catch up on it. Do you remember this happening? Former Overstock CEO Patrick Burns describes bluffing his way into Trump's White House. Okay, so this was after the election or something.
Okay.
What did he say? We had a vague plan regarding how we were going to get through all the rings of Capitol Police because he got into election fraud. Who was it? Sidney Powell, I think. He was talking to Sidney Powell. And basically, fuck, man. I'm not as good at presenting things as you are because it's just so bizarre. Fine.
So what? Just give me the short of it. What happened? How did he? What do they mean when they say he got bluffed into his White House? How did he get into Trump's White House? And
a
what
junior
capacity?
Assistant. They talked to her. He went with the crew. I think it was a couple of guys. We'll get to it.
So they talking about physically, like they went to the White House and snuck past security to get into the Oval Office.
So former Patrick Byrne, the former Overstock CEO, his dad, and we'll get into that. He's this thing. So he's spending all his time and money after he had a surgery from an accident. His friend sent him these election fraud information data stuff. His friend was like a tech hacker guy or something. So he got into it. So while he's in the hospital, he's like, we got to fucking do something.
So we're going to go give this personally to Trump in the White House.
Yeah, so he gets with attorney Sidney Powell. This was before Sidney Powell turned bad. And National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and attorney Emily Newman bluffed their way into the White House all the way into the Oval Office without an appointment. We had a vague plan regarding how we were going to get through all the rings of Capitol Police. They are not posted at the White House to police. So Secret Service and Marines without any invitation. Sidney and Mike were the center of global attention, and we were going to try to use that to bullshit our way past them and get to the Oval Office, Byrne wrote. So on the night of Friday, December 18th, more than a month after the election had been declared for Joe Biden, and 4 days after the Electoral College met in every state to make it official, Burns, a small group, drove to the White House and tried to get to the president, offering ways for him to keep fighting for the presidency.
That is fucking insane.
Byrne wrote that when the guards saw and recognized Flynn, a former general, they came to sharp attention. Byrne said he himself had called ahead to a friendly White House aide who had promised to give him personal tour sometime, and he asked to come that night. I may have been less than clear that there would be some people with me. Burns said that as guards were confused about why the group had no appointment, Burns' friends arrived at the gate. The aide was momentarily shocked to see Flynn, but flashed his ID and said he would take the group inside, and he helped them get through security. Once inside, the group called other aides they knew and went to visit them in their offices, each a little closer to the Oval Office. From one, they saw Trump and then walked toward the president, greeting him as if he should be expecting them. President Trump's eyebrows knitted in puzzlement, but his face showed he's recognized us, and after a moment, he beckoned us in. Byrne wrote, within seconds, General Flynn, Sidney Powell, and I were all sitting in the Oval Office with Trump with the door shut behind us. So that happened, really.
What?
So they go on. I think I deleted it. I have the PDF where I can see. When I tried to find this article again later on, I had to find it in a different way. So the information I originally studied is now organized a little differently because I had to find it again. And Forbes has the paywall. So here we go. Here's my PDF that I'm used to. Okay. So it says, soon the four conspiracy theorists would argue loudly with White House attorneys brought into the meeting about whether their proposals to have troops seize ballots was legal or otherwise. So they were basically telling Trump about the Dominion voting system. Powell began the meeting with the same claim that now has her facing $1.3 billion in a defamation lawsuit that Dominion voting systems had rigged their machines to flip votes from Trump to Biden. That was the thing I was talking about. And I think the Dems talked about it before, but yeah, that came from Sidney Powell, which was like Burns was the spirit behind all of it, the rich kid spirit behind all of it. She urged using National Guard troops to seize machines for evaluation.
So use federal force to track down this voter fraud.
She wanted to get the military.
Seems like a rational response.
Let's see. Access reports that Byrne, wearing jeans, a hoodie, and a neck gaiter, piped up with his own conspiracy. I know how this works. I bribed Hillary Clinton $18 million on behalf of the FBI for a sting operation. Byrne said in an interview with the Salt Lake Tribune that he brought it up later as his group was headed out of the White House. Access reported, Hirschman stared at the eccentric millionaire. What the hell are you talking about? Why would you say something like that? Byrne brought up the bizarre Clinton bribery claim several more times during the meeting, to the astonishment of White House lawyers. He got
Trump was perplexed with Byrne's statement, was also perplexed with the statement, but said, "You guys are offering me nothing. These guys, at least they're giving me a chance. They're saying they have evidence. Why not try this?" So he's like all on their fucking side. Like, let's try this. Oh man, this is insane.
Yeah. So I guess the information about his history that was really interesting is in a different article I found after the fact. Sorry, but that all got
at the bottom. Byrne resigned as CEO of Overstock in 2019 after his stock dropped when he said he had a romantic relationship with alleged Russian spy Maria Butina while acting as an informant for the FBI and helping with probes. You just ruined it. I was reading it off your screen.
Yeah, I think the reader view takes away half the article, so I was trying to open it up.
And helping with probes in the... Well, keep scrolling away from it.
Where was it?
At the very bottom. Anyway, for people listening, this is probably a nightmare. And helping with probes into possible Russian interference in the 2016 campaign. So yeah, that's a pretty insane accusation as well.
Yeah, so all that election fraud stuff kind of came from this Overstock CEO kid.
Yes.
Dad
seems like he's a stable individual, and it seems like just like at Mar-a-Lago, Trump has excellent security, even in the fucking White House, where people can just fake their way into the Oval Office and lay out it is conspiracy theory, regardless of whether it's true or not. But lay out conspiracy theories to the president, who's like, "Oh yeah, well this might actually work. Let's try this." Wow, that's crazy.